Although Pepperdine is a relatively young institution as you count the ages of universities, we are proud to count more than 90,000 alumni who live and serve and work around the world. Today's graduates will join this elite group of alumni who will forever call Pepperdine University alma mater. Among the traditions of the day is the recognition of distinguished graduates who have brought honor to the university through their singular achievements. Keeping with this tradition, we have today invited an esteemed graduate to share the day with us. At this time, I am pleased to invite to the podium Mr. Matthew K. Ebeling, graduate of Seaver College, class of 1999, and Executive Director of Alumni Affairs for Seaver College and George Pepperdine College. Mr. Ebeling, joined by President Andrew K. Benton, will present the Distinguished Alumnus Award.
Thank you, Provost Tippins. President Benton, today it is my very great pleasure and privilege to introduce a man whose love for those about him is absolutely infectious. A man whose spirit abounds, abides, and inspires. Paul A. Perry graduated from our original George Pepperdine College in 1950 and began a long and very productive teaching relationship with Long Beach Unified that endured until his retirement. Mr. Perry was a highly regarded educator, an educational pioneer of sorts, creating a program for children with autism, attention deficit disorder, behavioral issues, all at a time when the labels on those conditions were little known or non-existent. One colleague says, for 33 years, he was a popular, effective, and wonderful teacher who took on very special needs of children. And with his patience, kindness, and firm, loving manner, he was very successful in reaching them and developing their potential. Mr. Perry and his late wife Lois became a volunteer power couple for the Greater Long Beach YMCA and the Los Altos YMCA. Mr. Perry has been a volunteer with the YMCA for half a century, serving on its board for the last 45 years. In addition to being a camp counselor and leading youth groups to Mexico, to Europe, and all across North America. In retirement, Mr. Perry has been a blur of motion and service, driving the elderly to doctor's appointments, singing solo and playing guitar for churches, library events, and homes for the aged. I can account for his amazing singing voice. He reads to the blind, he sings in men's quartets, and here at his alma mater, Pepperdine, serving up root beer floats at NSO muggings, giving tours of the original Los Angeles campus to Seaver students, and of course proudly carrying his class of 1950 banner in our very own Founders Day processionals. President Benton, it is my great privilege to present Paul A. Perry for Pepperdine University's Distinguished Alumnus Award for 2012.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Matt, for those kind words. You may remember how I shared with you my concern and surprise at the selection process. But you know, in all humbleness and appreciation, I really now find that I'm more than happy to accept, mostly because it affords me the opportunity to be one of the first to welcome all of you new grads to our Alumni Association. Congratulations to all of you and welcome. But you know, folks, for quite a long while, we alums from the LAGPC campus were deeply concerned that you students here at the new Malibu campus wouldn't have the same wonderful closeness and the bonding that we experienced on our small campus. All of our professors were so readily available, and even quite often, George Pepperdine himself could be found in the library and would visit with students. And then, of course, there were all those croquet matches on the lawn out in front of the Oasis, where Dr. Hugh Tyner, our president, would just beat everybody in sight. He was awesome. He really was. But, you know, all of those concerns that I had have really been more than resolved. because over the course of time, being here on the Malibu campus, many times over these past years, I've always been so very happy to see the wonderful spirit of friendship and pleasure that I see expressed by everyone. It was especially good to observe how many of you were having lunch with your professors, or even that many of you had been invited to their homes for dinner. And then, of course, it was always fun to see Andy Benton at his breakfast spot, and you had the availability of sitting down and visiting with him. That's good, that's good. And for sure, that showed me that the Pepperdine spirit that I loved so well over at the other campus was alive and well right here at Malibu. And I know that. I can look in your faces and see that. But you know, my feeling is that during these last weeks of school, many of you have lamented over leaving this source of so many fond memories and friendships. So I would encourage each of you to stay close in touch with your friends. My class, over the period of time, some 60 years, we've stayed very, very close. And I know that you'll do the same, and you'll be glad of it. But stay close to the university as well. In parting, I think about each of you and the tremendously powerful potential that you have for impacting the future. In the Gospel of John, Jesus spoke to Peter, and he asked him, "Lovest thou me more than these?" And then Jesus said, Peter replied, "Yea, Lord, you know I do." And then Jesus said unto him, "Feed my lambs." We all know that there's a needy world out there with a lot of hungry lambs. And I can't think of anyone who's better prepared to feed them God's love than you right here. So take God with you as you go to your chosen careers, and do make a difference wherever you are, remembering always, freely you received, freely give. Thank you.